Hi guys, Mark here for KetoKitchenCollection.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make a homemade Keto Electrolytes Super Boost drink, and we've got two methods of doing it, so we'll jump right in. First of all, we've got here our glasses of water. We've got two here, one for each method. So we'll go through each one in turn. Now the first one has two ingredients, okay? The first ingredient is cream of tartar. I'll talk a bit more about that in just a moment. The second one is sea salt. Now, you can use sea salt, you can use pink Himalayan salt, you can use regular iodized table salt. It doesn't really matter because every type of salt has essentially the same sodium amount in it. The difference between the regular iodized table salt and the others, like sea salt and pink Himalayan salt, is that they've got a better nutrient profile, a better mineral profile in them. So if you've got access to those, you can use it, but don't feel like you have to do it. If you've only got the regular table salt, that's absolutely fine. So what we need to do is simply measure these out and pop them into the water. So we'll start with the cream of tartar. If you're not familiar with cream of tartar, it's a powder. It's actually, I believe, the powder's originally called potassium bitartrate. So if there's any chemistry majors out there who think that I'm pronouncing it wrong or if I've got it slightly incorrect, then please let me know. But that's where the cream of tartar comes from, potassium bitartrate. Now it's a powder, and you only need about 5 grams of this for each serve of drink. That's probably a bit too much. So there you go. That's about 5 grams, guys. It's not an awful lot. Just a moderately heaped teaspoon, which is what this is, and just pop it in the water. Simple as that, okay? It'll mix up pretty good, this stuff. So this is Mackenzie's brand, which we have available in Australia. I'm not loyal to that particular brand. Just get whichever brand works for you. And also the sea salt. Now, we only want 1 gram of this sea salt. This comes pre-packaged in a special little grinder. So what I do is give it 3 moderate turns right into the lid. Pop the lid off. I can then put it into the spoon for you. Okay, there's not an awful lot there. It's certainly not heaped. It doesn't even reach the top of the spoon. Hopefully you can see that fairly accurately. And just pop that in there. Now, the 5 grams of cream of tartar, that's what's giving us our potassium electrolyte. And the 1 gram of sea salt, or whatever kind of salt it is, that's what's giving you your sodium electrolyte. You'll get about 800 milligrams, a bit over, of potassium in the cream, in 5 grams of cream of tartar, and you'll get about 400 to 500 grams of sodium, thereabouts, in the 1 gram of sea salt, okay? Or 1 gram of salt in general. That's, let's see, just to be specific, the 400 milligrams of sodium you'll get in this sea salt is 16% of the recommended daily amount of sodium you need. That's just in general. That's for health, whether you're on a keto diet or not. And the potassium, 825 milligrams, is in the 5 gram amount we just put in this water. And that's 20% of the recommended daily amount of potassium you need, okay? Don't overdo it on potassium, guys. If you have too much, it can be very detrimental to your health. So just stick with these amounts. Stick with, if you're worried about it, speak to your doctor, see what your doctor has to say just to make sure you're comfortable with it. But otherwise, stick to these small amounts and you should be fine. So with this, you simply mix it up. It all mixes up pretty well. Now, I will show you how to color it and also how to flavor it in just a moment. But if you want it just like this, that's no problem at all. You can just drink it like that. Okay, it's got kind of a salty, almost sherbety taste if you've never tasted these plain in water. And it's quite fine. You can drink it down. I don't sip on it. It's not like you have it like an enjoyable drink as such. I just drink it straight down, nice and quick, and don't mess around with it. So let's move on to the second one. Okay, we'll leave those there so you can see. Before we look at colouring it and flavouring it, we'll look at the second method. Now, this is one, probably my preference out of the two because it's just a single ingredient. This is called light salt. All right, now the brand is Diet Right. I'm not sure if this will be available outside of Australia, but I understand that this particular product under a different brand name is going to be available pretty much right around the world, okay? So what this is, it's got 50% less sodium for every gram or whatever amount of weight of this product. Okay, so for all intents and purposes it's salt, it's just got half the amount of sodium in it. What they've done to make it a bit more flavoursome, I guess, is add in potassium. Okay, so with this product, about a quarter of it is actual potassium, and about 25%, and about 20% of it is sodium. So with this, I use about 3 grams, again, just in water. So I'll pour some out, you can have a look at what 3 grams looks like. Now, if you've got a scales at home that can go down to single gram amounts, fantastic, use that. It'll be a lot easier, especially in the beginning, just so you've got an idea of how much you should be having. And after that, you can really eyeball it. So there you can see, it's basically, it's not a heaped teaspoon, but it's up to about the edge of the teaspoon, and that's about 3 grams, and that's all you need. So I'll pop that in there. We can mix that up, that's no problem. Now this doesn't mix quite as well as the other 2 ingredients, but it's pretty close for all intents and purposes. And just to give you guys some figures on this particular one, with 3 grams of this light salt, you get half a gram or 500 milligrams of sodium, which is 20% of the recommended daily intake, and 840 milligrams of potassium. So they're very similar amounts to these 2 ingredients, and that amount of potassium is 21% of recommended daily intake, which is fine. You don't need to go heaping any more than that unless you really want to start tracking the amount of potassium and sodium you have through all your different foods and figuring it out that way. It's probably a little bit excessive, and if all you do is stick with one of these drinks each day, then you can't go wrong. Now, before I dig into this one, let's have a look at how we flavor it and how we color it. So, first of all, I've got some lemon here. Now, the lemon will have, it's only a single slice, so it's thin. Okay, there's not a lot to it. And you simply squeeze it into the drink. Some seeds going in with it, that's okay. Now, there'll be about 1 gram or 2 of carbs in the lemon, and something else with the cream of tartar. With 5 grams of cream of tartar, with this first option, you do get 3 grams of carbs in that, okay? And you do need to, if you're tracking your carbs, that's absolutely something you need to track. But don't worry about getting carbs in this, because getting the potassium out of the cream of tartar is much more beneficial to you than any detriment it may have from having a few carbohydrates in it. Don't worry about that. So we can mix that one in, just to give it a nice, light, lemony flavor. And then, food dye. Simple as that. A little bit of this goes an awful long way, guys. So just pour a little bit in there. I don't usually go with the food dye, but sometimes it just makes it a bit more palatable. If it looks delicious, then your brain thinks it tastes more delicious, which is not always the case, but that's how it works. You mix it up, you can put some ice in it if you want, use a straw if you want. Perfectly good. Now, flavor-wise, I would use the first option with the sea salt and the cream of tartar, and just put some lemon in it, put some food dye in it if you want. I'd say that's the better tasting one. With regards to the one that's most convenient, I would normally stick with the light salt, and it's a single ingredient. It's very easy to measure it out because you just have to go top of the rim of a teaspoon, mix it in, and you're good to go. When I have these, I never bother I used to flavor them and I used to color them just to get used to what I was drinking, because it was, it's a bit foreign when you're not used to it. But now I just mix it up, drink it down in about 10 seconds, and it's done, and I'm good to go. So guys, hopefully that's given you some good, easy ideas for homemade electrolyte drinks for when you're on a keto diet. If you've got any other recipes or ways that you like to add electrolytes into your diet, then please join the conversation in the comment section below. If you got some value from this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.